guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Get an Insight. It is your host, Brenda. I think this is the first time I've said my name on the podcast, so that's pretty cool. I have my coffee that I got from my local coffee shop, trying to support small businesses. I tried out this coffee shop and I fell in love with it, and I have not gone to Starbucks since. And it makes my heart happy because, if I can support a small business and support a family, I don't know, it just makes me happy. So I have my coffee right next to me, and don't forget to subscribe, review the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, good criticism, whatever. I made a TikTok today and I uploaded my first YouTube video where I show my face, and I went on TikTok and I told everybody to come look at the YouTube channel and give me some good criticism. Hopefully the lighting is a little bit better in this episode, but I want to jump right in because we're going to talk about what has just happened. If you are new to the podcast world, Call Her Daddy, a big podcast. The host is Alex Cooper, also referenced as Father Cooper. She had Miss Hailey Bieber and basically just turned the whole social media world upside down. Like, I go on TikTok and every single TikTok is about Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber. And before we get into it, obviously I am a small podcaster, but my point of view is kind of like in the middle, right? Because I heard very mixed reviews on the podcast episode. And yeah, just keep that in mind. Like, I'm coming from like somebody who's trying to get into social media, but also somebody that's like still has a normal job and is still like, consuming social media every day. But basically, if you don't know, like I said, if you don't know Call Her Daddy, it's a podcast that started out very rated R. Alex Cooper was one of the first podcasters, at least to me, that came out here on social media and was very raw, literally like very honest about topics that were considered taboo at that time. I think now it's shifted. Now, podcasters and women can come on here and talk about, relationships and being intimate, and, their sexuality and being comfortable in their desires with a significant other or with a partner, like an intimate level. And she did it very, very honestly. I think that for a while, and I've talked about this before, when I first started listening to Call Her Daddy, it made me uncomfortable. But I now realized that the more that I listened, the more comfortable I felt in speaking to my significant other about these topics. Especially being, a Latina. A lot of these topics don't happen at home. A lot of these conversations aren't talked about at home, about losing your virginity or wanting to be pleased, as a female. So in that aspect, I think that she's very, very talented and has made all of us comfortable in the uncomfortable. So that's my opinion on her podcast. But if you don't know anything about Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, how could you not? But in case you don't, Selena Gomez, obviously a singer, very famous singer. I think for a long time she was the most followed person on Instagram, which is crazy. I think I checked yesterday and she had 324 million followers on Instagram, which is just like a crazy concept to me. But she was in a very, very off and on many will say toxic relationship with, again, a famous singer, Justin Bieber, who as well, like, huge celebrity. They started out, this relationship very publicly at a very young age. And I think that for many influencers now, for many famous people now, they are kind of the reason on why they don't share their relationship, like, in the public eye. For example, Dixie D'Amelio and Noah Beck, who are very famous TikTokers, they're somebody who also keep their relationship very private. And I think it's because they've gotten a taste on what it's like to have a public relationship and how judgy people are, how people will comment on everything, how people will pick on any little thing. Like, truly, I think it's a toxic place when it comes to relationships, and they expect them to get married, they expect them to have children, and they expect them to never be with somebody else. And that was kind of the case for Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. People have this obsession over wanting them to end up together, and like almost like a false image on what their relationship really was. Because I think that the older I get, the more I realize how it was actually really toxic. Just like, yeah, I don't know, like seeing pictures, seeing videos, hearing songs, that it's more than obvious that it was about each other. And it just seemed really toxic. They both looked like they were not happy. But it's almost like people fall in love with that type of relationship, and because they know it was really toxic, they want it to almost like work so bad. And I think we have all been in a similar relationship where you know that your relationship is toxic, but because you know it's toxic, you almost like trauma bond, and you just like want to make it work so bad to prove to people that you guys ended up together. So Hailey Bieber comes into the picture, and it's honestly very weird. Like, honestly, the timeline is very weird. Hailey Bieber, I never knew anything of her until Justin Bieber, and I'm not saying that like in a rude way, because I know a lot of people hate on her and they're like, who even was she, like, before Justin Bieber? Nobody knew her, blah 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 blah. But this is like my honest opinion. Like, I knew nothing of her until Justin Bieber, and I was also very young, so like I wasn't on social media every single day. Like, my mom would borrow me her phone and I would scroll on social media, and so I only knew like the super famous people, now that I was doing my research, a lot of people talk about Hailey Bieber's tweets when she was younger, and a lot of her tweets are very fan-like, if that's like the proper word. So she was a fan of Selena Gomez. I think that's like a true statement, right? You can go back and see the tweets and know that she was a fan. And she was also a fan of Justin Bieber. I think that's also very obvious by the tweets. And she was also a fan of their relationship. Again, that's not me speaking out of my opinion. I think it's like facts, just because we can go back and Google her tweets and it's very obvious. So she had tweets like, Selena Gomez is so hot. Their ship name, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber's ship name was Jelena. I think that's how you say it. Like, like the perfect relationship, like just like that. I'm gonna pop them up on the thumbnail, or pop them up now, but very weird to me, right? Because I don't know, like you hear from celebrities all the time, like you don't like date your fans, or you don't like, like, and even though Hailey, like she comes from a famous family, I think it's still like, I don't know, it's such a weird concept to be like, she really went from a fan of both of them to end up being married to like who she was a big fan of, right? It's almost like if I got married to Bad Bunny, it would be kind of weird because I'm such a big fan that it's almost like, I don't know, like the concept just, I don't know, it's weird for me to like comprehend. But so she starts off with that, right? Like, okay, Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber met when they were really young at a carpet, I think. Her dad, you can see a video when they first literally meet. Hailey Bieber is like, she looks like she does not want to be there, and she meets Justin Bieber. So this is all on camera, which again is kind of weird because it's like a full circle moment. Like they can actually go back and look at a video when they first met, but that also shows how famous they are and were at such a young age, because so many big stages of their life has been filmed or photographed, and there's like actual proof on the internet, you know? And not many of us can say that, right? We don't all have like we can't all just Google our life and completely see every single stage of our lives on the internet, which is scary, but also kind of cool, you know, because they'll be able to one day show their kids the literal moment when they first met. So crazy. But anyway, so they met at a really young age, and I don't know exactly the transition. I don't think she was a fan at that time when she was younger. I think she more so became a fan of them, of Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez and them together as she got older. And then she started making these tweets, which you can Google, or like I said, I'll pop up. And she started making these tweets of how much she was obsessed with Selena Gomez, how much she was obsessed with Justin Bieber, and how much she was obsessed with them together. And then, fast forward, I don't know how it happened because we don't really get an insight on that, on when Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin at the time started a relationship. And but on the side, like how it's kind of hard to explain, but Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber start a relationship very strong, and then there's like throughout this whole time it was like an on and off, on and on relationship. Like I said, very toxic. Now that I look at it, very toxic, very on and off situation. But when they were off, Justin Bieber would be with Hailey Bieber. So if they were broken up, he would be with Hailey Bieber and get photographed, and like it was known to everybody. But then once they would break up, then he would go back to Selena Gomez, and then blah 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 blah. And I think that's when the hate for Hailey Bieber began, right? Because it's almost like she was the reason why they weren't together throughout the relationship, was because he would be like jumping back and forth. Now in the podcast, Hailey Bieber says that they were never together, ever were together while he was in another relationship. She just says it like I was, you know, like with anyone, but very obvious, like she wasn't in a relationship with him when he was with Selena Gomez, and she also wasn't in a relationship with him while he was with anybody else. Because there's other girls in between, but I think the two obvious main girls was Selena Gomez, which is like considered his first love, and then Hailey Bieber, which is now obviously his wife. But I'm like, yeah, maybe you weren't together with him while he was in a relationship, like there was no overlap, but you were always the other girl, right? In periods, you were the other girl, and you just happened to end up with him, which also kind of rubbed me in a bad way, because in many moments in the episode, she like very much references like, I ended up marrying him, he is my husband, like very I don't know how to say it, very, I don't want to say like in a cocky way, but like, I don't know, it just didn't look right to me. And maybe that's just my perspective. Maybe like, I don't know if that's the way that she meant it, but very like mean girl, which is very much what everybody says, that she gives off mean girl vibes. But basically, yeah, she talks, about the relationship and how there was no overlap, and how obviously it's very known that Selena Gomez dropped a song once they had already gotten married, once Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber had gotten married, about how, okay, the reason why there was such a shock, sorry I'm back and forth, but I'm like really just trying to like give it to you guys in order and the least confusing way, but it's very confusing. Before Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber announced their engagement, he had been spotted with Selena Gomez in a very romantic way. Now, this is kind of crazy because Hailey claims that the reason why everybody went so crazy about their engagement and didn't take it very well was because of the fact that everybody knew that they were Selena and Justin were seeing each other. But the reason why they were seeing each other was because they were closing out their relationship and just like putting an end to it. But if you go back and Google all of this, it doesn't give a closing relationship type of vibe. It doesn't give the vibe that they are putting an end to a relationship, because I feel like if they were coming to an end and they were both in agreement that that was going to be the last time that they were going to spend time with each other, one, I don't think it would have taken so many months. Two, I don't think they would have done it as publicly, where they're out riding bikes and out in dinner. Three, I don't think they would look as happy and as intimate. Like, who goes to their ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend to end the relationship but also is making out with them and kissing them and getting photographed together and going out to dinner and looking very romantic? Like, no, I think that if you're going to end it with somebody, it's very much like a private conversation, like as private as it can be, because it's going to be something that's going to be hurtful for, and painful to both parties, and you obviously don't want to be out and about crying, like that to me is like putting an end to a relationship, not like what you see on the internet. So that didn't make sense to me. I don't think that was what was happening, unless that's what Justin Bieber told Hailey he was gonna do. But Selena Gomez had no idea, which is fucked up to think about, if that's how it happened and that's how it went down. Like, which we probably will never know unless Selena Gomez decides to speak out, but I highly doubt she's gonna speak out about it. Unless, like, like I said, unless we find out that Justin Bieber did in fact talk to Hailey and made her think that he was going to go close a chapter with his ex-girlfriend, but then he told Selena Gomez a whole different story. Like, who knows? We may never know. But that's why everybody was like, what the heck? He was just with Selena Gomez 2 months ago, and now he's engaged to Hailey, when everybody thought that the person that was going to end up, the couple that was going to end up engaged, we all thought was going to be Selena and Justin. We never saw it to be Justin and Hailey. I'm like even stumbling with my words because there is so much overlap that I can't even like get the right person. You know what I'm saying? Which, if you're watching the video, you can see like my actual confusion. Like, it's so weird to me. How are you gonna end up being like with a person for so many months, be photographed, be romantic with them, and then end up engaged to a whole nother girl 2 months later? And I just know that this would, like, I don't think that Selena got the heads up like, I think that it was as much of a shock to her as it was to everybody else. Like, she found out when everybody else found out, which is sad to think about, because you could tell that he was her world, and to it just be that disrespected. I hope that Justin Bieber did call Selena and told her like a man, hey, I'm gonna end it with you and I'm going to propose to Hailey. And if anybody says that that's not what Selena deserved, you're wrong. Like, point blank period, you're wrong. He deserved that, or she deserved that. Like, if I was in a relationship with my significant other and he ended it with me and then got married to somebody else 2 months later and didn't give me the heads up so I didn't look like an idiot to everybody else, I would be so beyond pissed. I would not have acted as mature as what Selena Gomez has acted for so many years. But also, I feel like if I was the other girl, for example, Hailey at that time, I would have told Justin, hey, I know that you have been ending a chapter with your ex-girlfriend, and I know that we just got engaged, but I would much rather post about it publicly 6 months from now, to just like for it not to look like such a short timeline, right? And to almost like, I don't know, like put some respect on your ex-girlfriend's name. I don't know. That's just me. I think that's how I would have done it. But yeah, so then she had her on the podcast, and you can go listen to it. It's like an hour and 15 minutes long, but like for almost like a little more than half of it, they talk about the Selena Gomez situation. But what has had a lot of drama come up is the fact that a lot of people are disappointed in Alex Cooper, which I was not expecting. So I want to talk about it as a podcaster point of view. I ran into this video, and I don't know if I'll play it, but I ran into this video of a girl saying that Alex Cooper needs a rebrand, or there needs to be a new podcast to come up. Like, and I mean like literally come up, like in fame, because she shouldn't have asked Hailey Bieber these questions, and she more so should have asked her about her businesses, about her fashion, about woman empowerment, blah, 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 blah. And like I said in a TikTok, I do agree that the podcast could have brought in, you know, topics about her, you know, new brands and her fashion and, you know, like all of that, like woman empowerment. That is not what the people wanted to hear. Like, if you're sitting here and you're watching this video, you're watching it for the drama. You know that you're about to hear drama. You know that this is going to be talking about drama. And that is what people wanted to hear on Call Her Daddy and Hailey Bieber. If her teaser would have been Hailey Bieber guest on Call Her Daddy, and then it clips to Hailey Bieber talking about fashion and talking about her business, nobody would have cared, because Hailey Bieber has done that on other interviews. What has never been seen is Hailey Bieber talking about the Selena Gomez situation to this extent. So I think that I honestly respect Alex Cooper on being like, look, I'm gonna have you as a guest, but we're not here to talk about your fucking brand and your business. Like, yeah, awesome, this is like woman empowerment, you go girl, get your bag. But what people really want to know, and what I'm here to give the fans, is your engagement, your marriage, and the fucking overlap that everybody talks about. And if you want to clear your name, but it is going to come with a lot of drama. You are about to fucking get dragged, and it's not going to be easy. Are you down to talk about it? Yes or no? Like, that took balls from Alex Cooper to have her on her podcast and really ask the questions that everybody wanted. And she did not ask them, she did not like play around, like she did not like, she was very blunt and asked them very respectfully, but basically asked what we all wanted to know. Now, if Hailey Bieber didn't answer and she danced around the question, that was Hailey Bieber. But as for Alex Cooper, she asked the questions and didn't dance around them. Like, she really was like, hey, what does this time like look like? Why are people saying this? What did you think about the Met Gala? Which I did not think Alex Cooper was going to ask about the Met Gala. And if you don't know about the Met Gala situation, basically in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber go on the red carpet on the Met Gala. And while everybody's taking pictures of them, basically everybody starts screaming, Selena, 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 which I think was very disrespectful, was very uncalled for. This is not the behavior that we should be putting out. Doesn't matter how much you ship a relationship. Like, I think that was unacceptable. And Hailey Bieber it looks like she starts crying, which she cleared it up and said she wasn't crying. But I feel like if I was in her situation, I would have started crying. If I'm standing there, you know, looking, you know, like being next to my husband and, you know, being excited for this moment of walking the red carpet at such an important event, and I'm standing there getting photographed and I start hearing everybody scream my ex-boyfriend's name as a way of saying like, we're never gonna get over it, we prefer him with this girl, I think I would have cried. Like, I would have cried. Now, I'm also a Cancer, so if you know anything about Cancers, is we cry over everything. But I think that's such a valid statement, right? Like, who wouldn't, like, even being with a person and having somebody bring up their ex makes me a little uncomfortable. I could only imagine if thousands of people were screaming my ex's name, as in she was always the better choice. I don't know, that's sad. Honestly, it is sad. And even if you're somebody who hates Hailey Bieber, I think you have the common sense to know that that's not good. And that was not okay. But I didn't think Alex Cooper was going to ask that, and she did. I think she delivered. I think she ate. I think that no matter how much, I also wish Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber would have had their happily ever after together. I still respect Hailey Bieber. I think she talked about it very good. Now, do I think she was being 100% honest? I don't think so. I think she definitely danced around a couple of the questions. I think she could have opened up a little bit more, and maybe we would have been more accepting of this interview. But yeah, that's literally the whole tea. That is what I came here to deliver and give you guys an insight. But I saw a lot of people hating on Alex Cooper and just what she stands for as a podcaster, because again, she talks a lot about sex. I don't know if I can say it. I do not want to get this video taken down, but she talks a lot about that, and a lot of people don't listen to her and won't listen to her because of that. So I came to give you guys a more PG-13 rundown and a quick rundown, because that was an hour and a half episode, I think, and this is literally almost 30 minutes. So that's this week's episode, guys. I hope you guys are liking the YouTube videos. I have my little setup here, like very like fall vibes, but yeah, like any criticism is good criticism, like, or I should say like constructive criticism. Like if the lighting can be better, if the setup can be better, if you guys rather me at a desk, if you guys hate these episodes, if you guys rather just me, like just listen to me, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, like, review, whatever, you guys know. The whole rundown, you know. Oh, the TikToks also, they've been popping off. If you're coming from the TikToks, like they have been doing so good. I'm over 1,000 likes, which is crazy to me, because I was just at like 100 a couple, not even, I think I was, oh yeah, I was like at 112 not even a week ago, and I'm already at 1,000. So thank you so much. But with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.